Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first exit interview for Big Brother Canada 9. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and I'm here. I spoke with the latest, the first person evicted from the Big Brother Canada 9 house, and that was, unfortunately, Julie. But I had a great time talking to her, and let's find out what she has to say. Hey, Julie, how you doing?
Not great, but surviving.
Yeah.
Hi.
Uh, this was a tumultuous week. I've heard from watching the feeds last night.
Crazy. It was a huge shock. I'm so disappointed in myself, and I this is not the outcome that was supposed to happen.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about like what happened? Where you think things went wrong?
So the team defender, we lost. So six of us were up for eviction, and I think the easiest kind of like choice for eviction would be the first two dropped. But I yeah, Josh kind of spiraled out of control because his name was being thrown out there and he kind of scrambled. He was emotional. He started to pin everyone on each other. And he told me that Latoya was throwing my name. So I wanted to get to the bottom of it. And maybe I should have kept my mouth shut a couple times, but it was messy. It was very messy to say the least.
Can you tell me, I think, was it Wednesday? I think there was a series of events that occurred where, it's essentially, it seems like it's going to be Josh, or maybe you, and then there's an interaction with Latoya and there's a confrontation with Josh.
Yes. So Josh and I really hit it off. We were kind of like, we're both from Vancouver, West Coasters, and both in the queer community. He confided in me in a couple things and told me to tell other people. So here I am spreading it. And then he told me, wait, so the target was on him and he started to scramble. So then he wanted to get the target off of him. So he
Mhm.
started to pin other people on each other and throw people under the bus and throw my name out there. And then he told me that Latoya threw my name under the bus. So here I am, like running upstairs. I'm like, girl, guess what Josh just told me? Her reaction was not what I expected. She was pissed. She was
Mhm.
angry, and I think that she was angry at Josh in the first place, and then me coming to her and telling her what just had happened was kind of like too much for her, and she kind of snapped and was like, "I'm not dealing with this right now. We'll talk about this later."
Yeah. Well, who did you connect with in the house? Who did you feel like you had on your side? Did you feel like you were in an okay spot?
I felt like I was in an okay spot. I really connected with Brayden, with Austin, with Victoria, and with some of the boys. We kind of created like a six-person alliance, but we never really found the time to really have a group meeting. They were always so scattered. So I wasn't really relying on them too much. I had those three that was very close to me, but the whole week it was like, yeah, Josh is going out. Josh is going out. He's unstable. He's super emotional, just a mess. So the whole week we thought Josh was going home. Last minute, he flipped it around and it was Miss Julaboo who walked through the doors.
Do you feel like there's something that you wish you had done differently?
I wish I connected more with the people that I usually wouldn't connect with. Silly Julie just went in there, was like, "Oh, I like you. I like you. Let's just hang out every day." And that was kind of like my fault. I wish I hung out with the boys more, do like a little bro thing, or even hung out with Latoya, which was kind of like the person who was the driving force of me leaving. But just something about her just drove me crazy, and I just cannot align myself with her.
Hmm. Yeah. Can you tell me who do you feel like is playing the best game right now?
I feel like one of the boys is playing the best game right now. I would say Jedson. He's good looking, he's super nice, super social. I feel like that can advance him in the game. Um, Fur Bar, He cleans the dishes, makes the beds. He's really, making his way into people's hearts. So gotta be careful with Jed.
Yeah.
He has the
Um,
boys and he has the girls. So he's almost like he has everyone wrapped around his finger.
mm. If you had stayed in the game and you say like one HOH this week, who do you think you would have been targeting?
I would be targeting Josh and Latoya.
Hmm.
100%. Don't like them.
Yeah. How did
Not
you
a
feel?
fan. Not a fan.
How did you feel about the team twist? You're on a team with
Ugh,
Josh, and
ugh.
so and Latoya. So did that hurt your game?
The team twist definitely was the oh my god, it was the demise, right? It was horrible because I coming into the house, I had an idea of what I wanted in an alliance. I wanted like strong brains and like, someone I can cry on. But the teams were given to me. I didn't have any choice. I couldn't pick my own teammates. So it was definitely tough. Six people, obviously within that six, we had to come to you know, a unanimous decision pretty much to vote one of the people out.
Hmm.
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Where do you feel like if you had to sort of guess like what you think the alliances are in the house, like where do you think the general layout of the strategic game is?
So it's very telling because you can see who hangs out with who a lot. So the older folks, I would say Tina, Tara, Kiefer, and Latoya. Those are like the four oldest people in the house. So they're always hanging out with each other. The boys are always hanging out with each other. So Josh does have a point. There might be a Pretty Boys 2.0 that we don't know about. They're always playing pool together. They're always working out together. I'm sure they're talking game all the time. So a boys, an older group, and the Josh is like a lone wolf. He's always floating around, and I think that's why he stayed. He was a number for people because he wasn't in a clique. He wasn't in an alliance. Whereas I was making different alliances. I was very bubbly. I was very social. I was being friends with everybody, and that made me a target.
Yeah. Um, so how do you think that again you seemed to get into a confrontation with Josh? I don't think we've seen it. I don't know if we will see it. But can you tell me like how that went down? Like what was it about?
I believe that was the most spiciest moment when I came for Josh right before the nominations. Everyone was sitting in the chair, and I was like, okay, good, everyone's here. Let me do my last plea. Like, let me just say one last thing to prove to people that I'm not just like a pretty face, that I'm here and I'm serious and I want to play the game. I got up and I was like, Josh, you're not a trustworthy person. You're so flippy floppy. You're an emotional person. And I like shed a tear or two. I was like, I'm here to fight. I'm here to play the game, and I'm a survivor. I have a lot more in me. So um, I hope it airs in the next episode. We'll see, but it was juicy,
Yeah. So
real juicy.
you ended up having one person vote with you, which was Victoria. Did was that surprising to you? Did you know that was coming? Did you know that everyone was out voting against you?
So it was very weird because in the morning when I woke up, I felt like I was going to stay in the house. I was confident. I was showering, doing my makeup. And then I just had a weird feeling. Josh was running around like to every single room and everyone was avoiding me. So I'm like, uh-oh, like something is going on. And so I started to like panic and I'm going around. I'm like, please keep me. Like, I don't know what's going on, but Josh just came to you and I know what he's doing. So keep me. I'm here to fight. I'll keep you safe. And when we're sitting in the chair, Austin had looked at me and she was so sad. She shed a tear and she whispered and she mouthed, I love you. And at that point, it sunk in. I was like, I'm going home. The dolls could not save me, and I understood why. They couldn't go against the house first week, and I don't want to put a target on them at all if the numbers weren't there. So it was like, yes, put me on my misery. I love you. Victoria, I did get along with the last few days. We became really close. She was my number one. I was her number one. We were the ride or die. I hope she wins the show. She's amazing. So much to say.
What do you think her chances are now? Now that you're gone?
Victoria.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I feel like she's a target
Mm-hmm.
because she did vote to keep me in the house. She's a wild one. She's definitely a wild one. I feel like that's why we bonded. We're such strong individuals. We're down at bitches. So if she got into a fight with someone, I would show up and be like, hey, back off. That's my girl. And she would have done the same for me. And that was shown in the votes. So she's a real one.
Yeah. All right. Last question. What do you feel like? I mean, obviously, you wish you were there longer. Do you feel like you at least got to represent a little bit? Are you still like proud to have been on? Or are you just like, I needed more time?
I definitely needed more airtime. I brought all these outfits. I saw some game in the back pocket. I still have a lot of in me.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm proud of myself for getting onto the show. I know thousands and thousands of people apply each year. And so I was in danger and I knew I had to share my story now because I could be evicted and I was evicted. So I'm glad I did. I hope that, inspired a lot of people. And yeah.
Well, you were my number one draft pick, Julie. I was very.
I'm so sorry to disappoint you.
No, you didn't disappoint. It's look, things happen. Especially in the first week.
They just couldn't handle all this beauty. They were like, girl.
Yeah, it was too much.
It was too much.
All right, thank you so much for talking with me.
Thank you, Taryn. So handsome too.
Thank you. That was Julie. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. I will, of course, be live every morning at 11 a.m. Eastern to update you on everything that happens on the Big Brother Canada 9 live feeds. And we're also live after every episode. So check out all of our Big Brother Canada 9 coverage. You can also check me out on Twitter, on Twitch and Twitter. Twitter at Armstrong Taryn. Twitch is at twitch.tv/Taryn Armstrong. Thanks again for joining us, and I will see you all next time.